This is Mr. C. Charles Miller on the Ministry Road, and this is our every morning Good Morning God live cast. Good morning, everyone. Hello there, Miss Debbie Kuhn, Mr. James, Brother Shannon, Sister Debbie. She's sitting right there. I could just reach over and tell her hello. Miss Cheryl, Miss Cindy St. Blanc, Brother Lou. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get started right here. All right, the music's right. I'm going to take this out of my ear now. We are all good. I have my same old routine every morning. I had asked everybody on the Ministry Road. I had put a deal out there. Said, what questions do you have about God? And I was a pretty good bit disappointed, if I may say so myself. And nobody had any questions. Like, either y'all are real smart, or I'm telling y'all everything y'all need to know. Y'all don't need to ask no other questions. Or you're not reading your Bible. There ain't no questions that you can think of because it's not on your mind. I don't know which one it is, but I tell you what I did. Miss Paulette, I don't know if she's able to be with us this morning. Some people can't. But Miss Paulette presented the question just a few minutes before the broadcast, the live cast, about an hour before, not even that long. And she said her question was, why me, Lord? I had to start laughing, and I wanted to say, hey, you know what, Miss Paulette? I've said that the second God knocked me off my horse and said, you're going to follow me. I said, why me, Lord? Why me? Now, I don't know what context that she was saying, why me, Lord, at all. I don't know which one whatsoever, but I will tell you. Some people say, well, why am I going through trials and tribulations and situations, and why does everything happen to me? But I'm going to handle that question in the context of, God, you've called me to your service, and I'm not so sure if I can handle that, or maybe I don't want to do that. So why me, Lord? And there was a song by Matt Davis, I think. And it was called, Why Me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? So he looked at it in a different perspective. Why me, Lord? Why all these blessings? Some people say, why me, Lord? Why all this distress and problems? Some people say, why me, Lord? Why did you choose me? I don't want ministry work. All I want to do is slide into heaven, is all I want to do. I don't want to get the whole infield and outfield coming with me. That's their problem. I don't know. But I have actually gone through every single one of those stages. That's why I can relate it to you. But here's a real good way to approach this. My reading this morning is in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. This is kind of funny. Why me? Wait till I read the scripture. Why me? Get ready for this. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. But God has chosen, I gotta laugh, but God has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Boy, he picked me. He has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Why me? Because we're foolish and we're weak. Think about it. Like, wait a minute then, that's not the answer. I thought that he was going to say, God chose you because you have shown yourself approved, that you are strong and mighty, that you have a special gift. I know that's what you were looking for. But that is not why God chose you. And if you are on a ministry road this morning, a little FYI, Why me, Lord? I'm going to tell you why, okay? I'm going to tell you why. You feel inadequate, either you don't want to, whatever. But if you are on a ministry road, God chose you for something. A little FYI, and it's too late. You're already here. You're already here. You are already here. Hello, everybody. I might miss you. I'm going to get into my sermon right now. Miss Bernadine, Miss Melanie, Miss Wendy's on. Ooh, I was getting a little worried. I didn't see Wendy on, but she's here. Oh, yeah. Anyway, there's some of you that are just, Miss Linda, there's some of you that I know you always hear. That's why I say that. So let me keep on with my sermon here. 1 Corinthians chapter 27, but God has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Why me? Because you're weak and foolish. Don't take that as an insult. That's why he chose me also, because I'm going to tell you what would happen. You see, God chose, he chose Moses. I look at people in the Bible that when God chose them or asked them to do something, he was asking Moses to go back to the land that beat him, that was after him for his head, man. You need to go back into Egypt, and this is what you go back to Egypt. That's like somebody that's got a warrant out for their arrest, tell them to go sit in the courtroom, man. Moses says, I'm inadequate. Why me? Solomon says, why me? Hello there, Brother Stephen. Hello there, Miss Terry. God says, why? Solomon said, why me? Why me? I'm a king. I've got all these great people to lead to God, and I'm inadequate. So God says, well, what do you want? What do you want? I'll give you a present for doing it. You give me a present for doing it. I will give you a present, anything you want on Christmas Day. What do you want? And he said, I need wisdom. So even Solomon said, hey, listen, I'm not adequate. And all of you, hello there, Brother Orman. That's my brother from high school. You know, so even God says, all of us, we say, hey, man, I'm inadequate. I got to tell you what, and you know me, I'm just going to talk real to you because I don't know how to be polished. I don't know etiquette at all, man. None whatsoever. You know, but anyway, I talk to people all the time and I say, man, this is such a large task. I've talked to different people and I said, man, how can you help me with the ministry road? Well, and all of them say, Brother Charles, hello there, Chris Gidry. Thank you for joining us, Chris. How, you know, God says, and I ask this, you know, how nobody can tell me how to do the ministry road per se because nobody else has done this. Nobody else has preaches to the people that I preach to. I'm not trying to act like I'm somebody. And I said, God, why you chose me? Oh my gosh. And I was explaining to one of our dear members, and you know who you are, last night, I was explaining, and it helped me to understand and realize that the main thing about ministry isn't preparing a sermon. Man, I can prepare sermons all day long. I can prepare sermons. Oh, man. But I got to tell you what, pastoring and ministering to people you have to have the wisdom of Solomon. Solomon didn't say, God, help me to speak well. Help me to, matter of fact, Aaron had a speech impediment, I believe. You know, God, I can't even speak. I spit and stutter, man. Oh, my gosh. You know, and God, I'm not a good speaker. You know, how many of you feel that way? I know I ain't no good speaker. But you know what? God always chooses us. But when I'm getting back, let me slow down here. Getting back to what I'm telling you is the main thing about ministry to people is you have to love, and you have to make decisions that have nothing to do with preparing a message. The ministry has nothing to do with preaching a good sermon. Not at all. It's loving people. So when I say, why me, Lord, look at my time here. When I say, why me, Lord, I always say, oh gosh, I'm so not prepared. And we think that we have to be educated. So let me go through this right here real quickly. If God chose somebody that was strong to be in the ministry, to be a work of his hand and to do the ministry, you would be boasting of how mighty you was. If God chose you that had some great philosophical, theological education, maybe you graduated from the Baptist School of Ministry, or you became a deacon in the church, or you became a pope. I'm just being crazy here, okay? Doesn't make a difference. Then you would say, okay, I'm very educated. Come and listen to my fine words. Oh man, look, let me tell you what. Then you would boast. If God chooses those that are holier than thou, how many people think like that? Hey, you pretty. Hey there, Miss Shirley. How many people think that you're pretty holy? Hello there, Miss Pam. How many people? I'm the only preacher that can preach a message and holler out your name and get you right in the sermon, all right? All of y'all are in my sermon, okay? How many people think that you're pretty holy? I mean, hey, man, I do this, I do that. I speak in tongues. Man, I've cast out demons. I have done this, I have done that. Oh, my God. I casted out a demon one time. Demon threw something across the room. Serious. Oh, man, I'm holy. You ain't gonna believe what I've been through for God, Almighty God. Man, that ain't going to win nobody to the Lord. Nobody's going to be impressed about the Lord because of you in your holy life. So anyway, if you was strong, you would think you was mighty. If you was educated, you would think you were just so smart and everything. And if you was a holier than thou and you prayed out loud in the temple and in the street, you would think that, hey, I'm so holy. But God chooses people, these groups, because if he chose them, you wouldn't reveal God and his power and who God is. God says, I'm going to choose you because you need me every step of the way. And why do you think that he fed the Israelites in the desert day by day? And I'm going to tell you what I learned to do in life as well, okay? A few things I've learned, okay? One of the things that I learned was don't ask God to hit the lottery. I hit the lottery, I probably will never get to heaven. I'm being honest with you. There goes my chances, huh? Son of a gun. You know what? I wish that the devil would go up to God. You know, at the devil's back door and God's front door kind of meets close right there, maybe, you know. And I wish they would just holler at each other out the window, and Satan would say, you know what? If you would make old Charlie boy rich and he'd hit that lottery, he would turn from you, God. And God would say, no, he won't. And the devil would say, you let him hit that lottery and we will see. Yes, indeed, boy. I'll do a little reverse psychology on the devil. I promise you that right now. Yes, indeed. I just try and have a little fun with God. I say, hey, God, ask that devil that if he was able to let me hit that lottery, if he had control over it, okay? If that would be allowed for me to happen, tell him, say, what about my servant Charlie boy, huh? Well, Mr. C down there, he's serving you because he needs you, man. He's serving you because he don't have a whole bunch of money whatsoever, and he needs you. He prays every day to eat. But boy, you let him hit that lottery and he won't even talk to you, God. Huh? Let's give it a whirl. Let's see, okay? But I gotta tell you what, trying to be on a little serious note here, which is hard for me sometimes to do. Hey, Miss Susan Mathern, if on a serious note, if that did a lot cause me to turn away from God and not pay attention to God, I wouldn't want it. I would not want it at all. The Bible does say that you get distracted with the things of this world. I'm getting off of my subject, but my subject this morning is why me, Lord? Why do you choose me? Why do I go through what I have to go through? Because you know why? Because you are the one person that will confound all those in this world, okay? Let me move on real quickly here. Why did he choose? I should be ending right now, 15 minutes. Why did he choose Peter? He chose Peter because, this is my opinion. I never read this in a book. Peter was a fisherman, man. Peter was a fisherman. You ever go fishing and the fish aren't biting? You got to be patient, man. Oh, yes, indeed. You got to be patient and keep on fishing, man. You keep on throwing that net out. You keep on dragging that trawl, okay? Peter was patient. So anytime he had a lull in his spiritual life or something, or he felt like, where is God? He wasn't going to run away, okay, like a lot of us do. So why did God choose Peter? I think that he had a lot of patience. That's just my idea of it. Why did he call Saul? Saul was bold, man. Saul was the kind of guy, you know what? I came across Saul's Facebook profile. You ain't gonna believe this, man. Oh, yes, indeed. Before he got saved, I found it, man. I found Saul's Facebook profile on Facebook. I am not, before he became Paul and got saved. And he was talking of like every one of you and me, man, before I got saved. I'm like, look at this, man. Listen to Saul. Boy, you better not mess with me. Boy, let me tell you what, I'll knock you down right now. I'll cut your ear off. Boy, people know not to mess with me. Because you know why? Because I'm a real man. You don't mess with Saul. I found his Facebook profile, man. And then I found his Facebook profile after he got saved. Oh, man, it was totally different. Having a little fun with you right now, but I'm trying to bring it home, okay? I'm trying to bring it home. God chose Saul because Saul had an attitude, man. A lot of you out there, let me tell you what, you got an attitude. I told somebody the other day, I said, listen, God's going to get you, man, and I know it. And he said, like, why is that? I said, because you are so belligerent. You are so out there. You tell people all kind of things, man. I don't care what people think of me, that kind of stuff, you know. That's the kind of people God will knock off their horse, buddy, so get ready. So if you out there on the Facebook, I look at the people who are like big and bad and like, don't mess with me, and I'm like, yes, indeed. Whoo, yes, indeed. They're going to be going to Damascus with a different purpose. That's right. They're going to be on Facebook with a different message, all right? Why does God chose you? Because, I don't know, maybe you're patient. Maybe you're bold and you will use that to crusade for Christ. And Jonah, I was wondering why God chose Jonah. I told you I couldn't speak well. Why God chose Jonah? Because Jonah was available. Some of us are not available to God. So why did God chose you? Maybe you said, okay, God, I'm available. Okay, I'm bold and I will tell people what needs to be said. Turn that script around right now and quit telling people not to mess with you. But I said the other day, I said, somebody messing with you, let me know. We're going to send them a letter that you love them. Oh, it's going to get them mad. All right, let me close up right here. Matthew chapter 7, verses 16 and 18. This is some good stuff, man. Matthew chapter 7, verse 16 through 18. Thou shalt know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes or thorns, or figs or thistles? Even so, every good tree brings forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. You will know people by the fruits that they bear. Okay? Hey, that was a good message this morning, and I got inspired by that message just about an hour or 30 minutes, believe it or not, before God gave me this message by looking at Miss Paulette's question on the ministry road. I was going to speak on something totally different, and I loved what I was going to talk about. And then somebody got on Facebook and they answered my question. I said, hey, listen, do you have a question for God? And somebody said, why me? And I know what they were saying. So I said, you know what? That's going to be on the ministry road. So let me say this. I'm going to put the music on a little bit right here, okay? All right, let me go. I'm going to end my recording right now, but I'm going to still be with you, so I'm not really leaving, all right? Hey, listen, this is Charles Bill and Mr. C on the ministry road, and I want to thank you for joining me right now. Turn to our YouTube channel if you at the end of this. Hit the subscribe button and join us on the ministry road on YouTube.